And now, for our closing number, we will demonstrate how a cow outfit is brutally attacked on the Great Plains.
You remember, the sound effects man used to be a member of AFTRA. He was a member of the Actors Union. When radio drama went into a decline in '59, all the sound effects men became engineers. They belonged to the engineering union. As a sound man, he had to be an actor. He had to be able to follow the actor to the telephone, pick the telephone up, follow him to the door, open the door, let the actor or actress walk through the door. All of this required tremendous talent and skill. We still have that.
Cleveland Plain Dealer, July 28, 1974. CBS Theater's Brown burns about Serling. I'm proud of every minute we're on the air, and I'll stand up for every single show I do. Speaking of the CBS Radio Mystery Theater was Himan Brown, executive producer of the nationwide show that premiered January 6th. It has garnered good ratings. His comments were the beginning of a rebuttal to negative remarks made about the show and the Zero Hour on These Pages June 16th by Rod Serling. Serling narrated the latter program, which was dropped by Mutual last Friday. Brown burned. My stories have complete relevancy to all going on now. Exorcism, reincarnation, all stories of the moment. We're doing contemporary stories with the best writers and actors in the business. I think radio drama, contrary to what Serling says, is here forever and a day and will never be off the networks again. Serling has written TV shows, movies, and books, but his only previous radio drama was written while he was a summer replacement at WLW in Cincinnati. It's all sour grapes. Serling's relationship to radio has been a total failure, Brown said. His criticism of his own show is a complete slur of his own integrity, because in the past, he lent his narrative name or talents to what he wrote. The implication is that he was much involved with the stories on the Zero Hour, and that's a fake. Brown believes in Mystery Theater with all his heart. It took me 15 years to sell it, but it's been a happy fulfillment. The show has gone so well that Brown has a verbal renewal to go into a second year. He wouldn't discuss it, but Brown admitted that he has packaged a 2-hour weekly Sunday drama series for CBS Radio that should debut early next year. Getting back to Mystery Theater, Brown admitted that he can't bat 1,000 on the series, but I'll bat 800. He produces, directs, edits scripts, casts the shows, and signs the checks. The show has gone far beyond anything I ever hoped for. People are listening 7 nights a week. The minute we put on the first repeats, the station switchboards lit up. The first year's contract calls for 195 new shows and 170 repeats. Usually produced in New York, the program will invade Hollywood for talent there for the recording of 8 mysteries, beginning August 5th. Born in Manhattan and with degrees from City College of New York and Brooklyn Law School, although he never actually practiced law, Brown moved into TV production when radio drama fell by the wayside some 15 years ago. Now, with the CBS Radio Mystery Theater, he's back home. It's the greatest homecoming a man could possibly want. Raymond P. Hart.
One person, one individual, sitting alone in his room with his radio now is a part of that show, is part of that performance, because he, with his imagination, or she, with her imagination, builds the castle, makes the river, and flies the ocean, and so forth. You bring your imagination. You are a part of the performance in radio. Oh, I love it. They said, well, don't you have to re-gear and retool? I said, no, it's like swimming. You never forget how to do that. About 6 months ago, because I'd known Hi in the early days of radio, and sometimes I'd go in his office and we'd talk about why did it all stop? It was so wonderful. People loved it so. Why did it all stop? And then we'd give various reasons why television supplanted radio. And we'd say, well, why don't we just get together and do it? We'll find a station someplace and we'll do it. We'll get a script. We must have scripts there, Hi. So yeah, we'll do it. But we could never get a station to provide the time for it because it was so strictly structured. And we'd reminisce about it and have a coffee clutch and say, well, someday, because they're not going to forget it forever, it'll have to come back, right? So gradually and finally it did come back, and now we're on the air every night in the week.
Although Rod Serling was disappointed with Mutual Broadcasting's treatment of the Zero Hour, as covered in the previous episode of Breaking Walls. In 1974, Himan Brown's Mystery Theater won a Peabody Award for helping to usher in a new era of radio entertainment. It would run for 8 more years, until finally going off the air on December 31st, 1982. More than 1,500 episodes were produced. Most survive in listening quality.